What's going on, everybody? It's me, it's your guy, it's Doc Mono again, and today I have another guide, this time for Fury Warrior. We'll start with talents. We will start with talents. So for this fight, I took Fresh Meat in the first row, then I took Impending Victory in the second row. You get a lot of healing out of this. You can go with double time if you want to be able to charge to the distant ads, but we weren't doing that when I did it, and I'll show you why when we go over the actual kill video. And you can, I've seen people take Stormbolt as well. I didn't take it just because you get so much healing with Impending Victory, so I just stuck with that. Third row, we took the Massacre talent. This is very important in my opinion. Once you get the boss to 35% health, she starts to go down really fast just because of execute. So yeah, this was very important. For the fourth row, I took War Paint. I try to keep Enrage on as much as possible just because when she summons the ads, they don't hurt that much initially, but the longer they're up, they start to hurt more and more. So any extra tankiness I could get helps a lot. If you're trying to kill the ads that heal her, you could debatably go with Bounding Stride. Again, the way I was doing this, my strat for this is I would let them get to the boss and then I would just stun them and kill them, so I didn't need Bounding Stride. For this row, I took Cruelty. Again, just to get some extra damage on the boss. This is a very long fight, so any extra damage you can get helps a lot. Obvious choice here was Blade Storm. The way the timing is on the ads she summons, Blade Storm lines up perfectly. And if you couple this with Anger Management, you almost always have Recklessness and Blade Storm up when she summons the ads. Like, Recklessness will just be coming up if you're making sure to dump as much rage as possible. But anyways, those are the talents I used to help me get through this fight. We'll move on to gear. Just basic stuff. I took the Pride as just because it has 3 tertiary stats and it has a gem socket in it. I enchanted that with Mark of the Hidden is it Sat? It's Satyr, right? Satyr, yeah. So I coupled it with that. I didn't really have a better choice for a helm, so I just stuck with my heroic. Okay. So I just stuck with this one. Shoulders, pretty basic. I got the Nyalotha cape, just because again it has 3 tertiary stats, and then I put 20 stamina and 30%, and I put the stamina and leech enchant on it. I stuck with this chest, no special reason, it's just what I had. I went with these wrists because it has a socket. Went with this just because it's what I had. With this belt, this is the crafted Lego belt from Legion. I went with this one just because it has, for very obvious reasons, it has 3 gem sockets. And you want to make sure you socket those with strength gems. I think you can only use one of each of these, if I recall correctly. 1 Leviathan Eye of Strength, 1 Saber's Eye of Strength, and 1 Kraken's Eye of Strength. I think you can only equip one of each of those, so. I just stuck with my legendary pants. Same feet. Same rings. I got them with mastery and haste. I don't know why I went with that. I probably could have done a better job with enchanting and stuff, but like I didn't care, honestly. Really, like, this fight, like, this stuff, I mean, I guess it'll help, but really it's about your performance. It's a skill check more than the damage check. You still want damage, but yeah, it's more skill. This one's kind of weird. I decided to take a blood spattered scale here just because, like, I was getting nuked down by the ads, so I kind of experimented with it, and it actually helped me survive a little bit better. I would just pop that immediately as they come out. Once they busted that down, I would spell reflect, and then I'd kill them. And then I went with the Antor's trinket. It really didn't do that much damage, but I mean, I didn't really have anything else better, so I don't know, I just went with it. Consumables, I actually don't have them in my bags because I sent them to my other character, which I'm trying to do the Boomy Mage Tower challenge on right now. So, but for consumables, I used the Shaded Sharpening Stone on my blades. I used the Spectral Flask of Power. Right now, until they nerf everything, the BFA flasks are better than the Shadowlands ones, but I didn't feel like buying one because people are currently gouging the shit out of those prices, so I just stuck with the Shadowlands one. I use a Heavy Desolate Armor kit to kind of give me a little bit extra survivability. I use Drums of Deathly Ferocity. I use Iridescent Ravioli just because that's what I had. Yes, that's what I use for consumables. Another important thing to note, and I went over this in my bear guide video, I kind of just like macroed my drums and I use a potion of Unbridled Fury. I macroed those together. Just because I tend to use those when I start to phase her, because once I get to that point, I just need to DPS her down like ASAP, because I'll start getting nuked and I always get hit by the balls and stuff. It was a pain in the ass. Yeah. But again, I did not think this fight was easy at all. Even the guy like L Peener 43, he's completed the challenge on every class and every spec, and even he says Fury and Holy are a bit tougher than the others on Agatha. So when people say this was a free challenge, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I heard Feral Druid's pretty easy for it, but I did not find it very easy, honestly. But yeah, so anyways. With all that said, now we will watch the actual kill video. Give me just a second. Alright guys, so this is the video from my actual kill. I'm gonna warn you right now, this takes a while. Alright. So right now I'm getting my food buff. Unfortunately, I got my little event thing up here, so you can't really see what I have, but I have a Veiled Augment rune, I think. Oh, I guess I didn't use one for this. Never mind. I got my flask, I got my sharpening stones, and I think I got a food buff. I can't tell. But regardless, if you can, you definitely want to get a food buff. So right here, right off the beginning, she summons ads. Now here, I'll pause the video. That first charge, it's very important you pop Recklessness and Blade Storm, because with your anger management talent, the more rage you're dumping, it's going to reduce the cooldown on Recklessness, and when she summons ads again, you'll have Recklessness and Blade Storm up. If you dumped enough rage, which is your goal here, so after that, you're just trying to keep enrage up as much as possible. You're just damaging her. She summons those ads. Now, you're going to notice I let those ads get to her, all right? Now, I'm going to pause the video here, right? Now, a lot of people will kill they'll jump out, they'll heroic leap, and they'll piercing howl these ads. You can't see my mouse right now, but I'm pointing at the ads. I don't do that, and I'll show you why right here. So I killed a imp. You want to kill these imps ASAP, just because they leave shit on the floor that slows you down and hurts you, and that's going to really mess things up later on in the fight. So you want to make sure they don't get a cast off. Alright, so one of the benefits of being a Tauren warrior is you have War Stomp, right? Now the way these ads spawn, the timer they spawn on, you almost always will have either War Stomp or Intimidating Shout Up. Which means pretty much you can let them get to the boss and you can cleave them right next to the boss, so you're damaging the boss and killing them at the same time. And you can always like interrupt their cast without having to commit your pummel to interrupt them, because you want to interrupt her. See, look at this. I'm cleaving the boss. They do start casting again there, but it's very negligible. It doesn't heal her a whole bunch. So she puts this purple shield up. You want to DPS that shield off ASAP. That way you can interrupt her. Because that move she does, it stacks over time. You got the little imps there. You have to DPS them down in order to harm her. In case you didn't know that, she doesn't take damage while those little imps are still up. The servants, she'll still take damage. But as you see, I just intimidating shouted them, and then my War Stomp should be up for the next few ads. She summons one of the weird imps that does that weird plague zone. You want to kill them ASAP. Aside from that, a lot of it is just stay in melee range, so you're getting your auto attack in. You want as much damage on her as possible, because it takes forever. Try to keep enrage up the whole time. These guys are here. I'm committing my rampage to these guys. I'm War Stomping to interrupt them. I probably could have scaled there too, because the scale actually does do some damage, but I'm DPSing the little ads. Got him. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention. Something that'll be a huge help. Deadly Bosses mods. If you go into your CurseForge client, you can get the new Deadly Boss mods for the new Mage Tower, and it'll show you the little timers and stuff. You'll see it up at the top left right next to Bill Gates' donation to the channel. Thanks, Bill Gates, if you're watching. I appreciate it. Here she's at 52%. All right, so I'm going to pause right here. One thing that worked for me very well, like I'm looking at, so here, I could be looking up here at the top to see where the, what's it called? When the ads are going to spawn. But I'm looking at my recklessness, because the way I've timed it, my recklessness almost always comes up right as the ads are about to spawn. So I know I got about 20 to 30 seconds until they're about to spawn, and she's at 51%. Now, you want to... What helped me out a lot was I would phase her into the second phase when I still had, like, plenty of time before the ad spawn. Because if you phase her and then the ads spawn right away, that's a lot of shit to pay attention to, because you have to kill the ads. She's going to summon the servants. You got to dodge the balls. It's just not worth it. So I'd always try to make sure I phased her at a time where she wasn't about to spawn ads. That way I can lust Unbridled Fury and then just go ham on her. So here I phase her. I'm getting ready to heroic leap out. She phase. I make sure to avoid that first ball. I pop Bloodlust. And here I'm just trying to throw as much damage to her as possible, because she's about to summon some ads. And just like I said, here it is. Got Recklessness, got Blade Storm, makes short work of him. He almost gets a Plague Zone off. See, this is what I'm talking about. There's a lot going on here. You don't want to spawn ads like right when she phases. It's bad. I use Intimidating Shout to get them off the boss. They start casting again. Kind of sucks. I could have finished that guy off, but I think I was just... I don't know what I was thinking right now. I probably should have killed that guy. I like how I left that ad to go to the other ad and didn't even kill the other ad. Meanwhile, they're just channeling on the boss. The boss is getting all her health back. Like, I'm getting mad just watching this. Like, so unfortunately, with all the traveling I have to do in this phase back and forth to dodge balls and kill ads, I'm not dumping as much rage, so it is affecting my recklessness timing. My recklessness is not coming up at the same exact time as my Blade Storm, and that only gets worse. So it's very important to try to like dump as much rage as possible. Also, make sure you're remembering to use your Impending Rush. There's a lot of healing in that. Yeah, that is very, very important here. So unfortunately, one of those imps exploded, so now I got a Plague Zone to worry about. Unfortunately, I have to step into it to kill these guys, which means I'm taking more damage and I'm slowed, which makes it harder to dodge balls. Also, right here, right about where I'm standing right now, there's a rock. Be very careful to not get stuck on that. Like, there's been many a time where I've heroic leaped right onto that and I just got stuck. So, yeah. It's very frustrating. We're about to get more ads here in about 8-7 seconds. Yep, not even. See, this is what I mean, like, my timing starts to get all messed up here with my cooldowns. You want Blade Storm as soon as these guys spawn.
One eternity later.
Okay, so right about now I'm in execute phase. So this is when things start to take off. Once you get to 35%, the boss gets significantly easier just because you can execute her down, which makes a huge difference. Here I'm about to die. I'm panicking. I'm panicking. Alright, and I'm not using my impending rushes, which you absolutely want to use your impending rushes there, chat. Again, very sloppy run, but this I'm just telling you like what I should have done. What worked, what didn't work. You want to use that impending rush every opportunity you can. I should have rampaged. I should have killed that ad. See there, I got stuck on the rock like I told you. Be careful that rock. You'll get stuck. So we're here at 15%. Looks like I pop an other Unbridled Fury. Honestly, the length of this fight, I probably could have lusted in the beginning and it would have been up again by now. I'm walking through the plague zone just because there's area denial. There's not a lot of room to move around, unfortunately. Intimidating shout there. I have to kill these little... Like, she's close to death, but I have to kill these little ads in order to hurt her, so... Again, at this stage, I'm just panicking. I want out of here. Like, plague zone. I'm stuck in a big plague zone there with a ball coming. That's not a good place to be. And here, I think I just stun these guys and, like... No, I kill them. Like, I don't want them getting one tick of their heal off on this boss. Execute. Rampage, execute. Stunned. Horrible time to be stunned. And there you go. It was fucking awful. But we got her. We finally killed her. That's what worked for me. Again, when I see people like making guides or they're like, oh, this is pretty free, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully some of this was helpful to you. War Stomp and an Intimidating Shout were very important. The blood spattered scale helped a little bit. I didn't use it as much as I should have, but it did help. But if you have any questions or concerns, let me know. You can leave them in the comments below, or you can go to my Twitch channel and talk to me there. This whole week, I'm just going to be doing Mage Tower challenges. Normally, I raffle off free plus 15 key carries almost every day. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to come visit us on Twitch. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. Good luck in your Mage Towers, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.